I have my trusty travel bag of the rolling persuasion, which makes it very nice. It's a lot easier than carrying that huge duffel bag I used to own. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here, LAX, Los Angeles International Airport. Starting the vlog off here, but I will not be ending the vlog, even in the States, because I'm about to board a plane and head to Indiana. It's a travel day. Today's a travel vlog. It's my second channel, daily vlog channel. It's The Daily Woo. Sometimes standing onto an escalator is a little more difficult than one would think. You know those height charts that they use for theme park rides? This is kind of the luggage version. Yeah, it looks good. Looks perfectly fine. I think I'm good.
Here are some ways to speed things along and get you on your way.
Okay, give me the secrets.
First, please be sure to have your government-issued ID
I will.
and boarding pass out.
So like a driver's license or a passport?
Verification by the TSA.
Oh, wait a second. I thought that was a real woman. It's not just...
Please remove all...
It's like a digital recording. That's strange. Normally they make you put your laptop in a separate bin, but these bins are extra special, huge. I've never seen a bin of that magnitude before. Nice. According to the board, my flight is right on time. This terminal is so fancy, they use Rolex as the sponsor for just the normal clock. It's like a humongous wristwatch up there. Slightly overcast today, which is rare for this neck of the woods. You see Frontier plastered on the side of the plane on the far left of your screen. I rarely will take that airline. I opt out of it. That and Spirit Air, and there's a couple other ones that I don't choose, simply because I'm 6'3" and the leg room on some of the really cheap flights, not so great. I can definitely understand or even embrace the habit of purchasing magnets as souvenirs, or even little cute pins. But the spoon thing, now if you are a collector of spoons, do you use these to eat or you just display them on a case? I love LA. You know that's actually a real song. Some people thought I made that tune up off the top of my head, but it's a real song, I think from the 80s, the late 80s. Whoa, and look at this pin. It has some sort of interesting crystallization in top. Look at this. It's like a crystals, and then at the end it has an eraser, so if you want to erase the crystals, erased from existence. They have a bookstore inside the airport, and if you look up on the shelf, there is a little stuffed doll of Jane Austen, and tucked away in the corner, it's William Shakespeare right here. Look. It's old Bill Shakespeare. How are you? In the last few years, I have flown more than a handful of times. When I was younger, I was scared to death of flying, but the more you do something, it becomes much, much easier. One thing I have never done is flown first class. I just can't bring myself to pay the extra money. What I was saying earlier about not having a lot of room, all that would be extinguished. It would make it much easier if I had 2 people per row instead of 3 people per row. But the only disadvantage for me with first class, other than the exorbitant price, I don't drink. And I think on first class you get free alcohol, and I don't drink. So that perk doesn't really make much sense. And first class isn't that much more expensive if you're only going like an hour flight. But then it's like, why pay the extra money to only go 1 hour? Because if you're flying cross country, first class is like 3 times the price. To me, that just doesn't make sense. Have you ever done first class? I've been told that once you do first class, you never go back. I want to know, have you ever flown first class? Am I crazy for not ever doing it? Should I do it one day? I almost considered it because my birthday's coming up in a couple days. I almost considered maybe possibly doing it, but I only sustained that idea for about a millisecond. Airports nowadays have pretty much turned into mini malls. When you walk through the terminal, there is plenty of stuff to catch your attention, like this taco vehicle over here. There was a time when you weren't allowed to drive a big box truck up into an airport, but times have changed. That's actually a burger. No, it's a grilled cheese mobile. It is just about time for me to board. And I have my Trident gum. Keeps your ears from popping on the flight. I have my pocket juice charger for my iPhone 7, and this will be the first time utilizing these newfangled earbuds. Look at the connection on the bottom here. It's a little different than the old school one that I'm used to. This is supposed to keep the phone from getting water damage. It's like water resistant. What will they think of next? The time has come. The time has arrived. Does anyone else think of Jim Carrey and Dumb and Dumber when they see these little passageways onto the airplane? A carriage awaits. Well, it's not really a carriage, it's a plane, but you know, you get the idea. I'm actually oh so close to the hallowed ground. See those buffers there? That stops any of the normal passengers from tiptoeing up into first class, but I'm so close I can taste it, or at least smell it. Maybe I think I smell first class.
Oh yeah, I think I do.
Up we go into the clouds. Now we're actually going over the ocean, but we're going to turn around, do a 180, and head eastward. But the runway dumps basically into the water, so you have to fly over the ocean for a little bit, then turn around and go back the other way. I always feel like Superman when I do this. It's amazing. We're now above the clouds. You have to look very faintly, but you can see downtown Los Angeles off on the distance there. Somewhere in there, look very closely, you can see all the skyscrapers. That mountain range is pretty incredible. Whatever you do, don't look down. It's amazing that you really don't have to go too far outside the city to get to the desert. Barren wasteland just around the corner. Just look at all that untapped land. They do provide little snacks on board, and you'll notice there is a doggy bag tucked away in there, just in case this stuff starts to rear its ugly head a little later. What do you think those are down there on the ground? They're not crop circles because there's no crops, but they are in this circular nature. Now that I think about it, this might be the first non-red eye that I've taken in a long time. Usually it's dark as I go across the country. The scenery is breathtaking, to say the least. I might be totally incorrect on this. We just passed Las Vegas a little bit ago. Is that the Grand Canyon over there? Oh wait, look down here. Look directly. It all kind of looks like the Grand Canyon, but I'm not 100% certain. It's hard for me to say for sure, but either way, Those are some very monumental rock structures out there in the desert. No human beings are allowed on the wing. Now, if you're a gremlin from a Twilight Zone episode, then you're allowed on there as long as William Shatner is present. But check out the cloud formations. It almost looks like water, how it just goes to the edge and then tumbles over like a waterfall. It doesn't even look like a cloud, it looks like land and a cliff. See how it just tapers off there? Very unique looking.
It's time to begin powering down your large electronic devices. We will ask you to put your devices away in a few minutes. Locking electronic devices may be used in airplane mode. The seatbelt sign is on. Please return to your seat and fasten your seatbelt for the remainder of our flight.
A little bit of turbulence on the way down. Nothing too extreme, but when you go through a cloud, kind of bumps you around a little. Check out that body of water down there. It's shaped like a pistol. Exactly like a pistol. Wasn't rough per se, but the whole plane was shaking, kind of noisy. I don't know if it was the wing that was making the noise or the frame of the actual airplane, but I landed safely in Indianapolis. I bet if I would have used this as my travel vehicle, probably would have got here at about the same amount of time. Well, how fast can one of those cars go? 236 miles per hour. So yeah, probably. No, I think a plane still might go a little faster. And I just noticed the directional paint on the ground. It looks like a racetrack. Indianapolis 500 race cars. I'm sensing the theming. A rather uneventful, slightly monotonous, long travel day between waking up early, packing this suitcase, getting everything ready, getting an Uber, sitting in rush hour traffic for over an hour, dealing with that Los Angeles goodness on the freeways, and then getting to the airport, sitting on a plane for over 4 hours. I have now arrived in Indy. Wouldn't it be amazing if Harrison Ford stood here? You think Harrison Ford has ever stood where my hand is? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Vlog over.